Zebra can quickly recover, but now he can't speak, so he communicates with Toriko using sign language. He instructs Toriko to continue forward and Zebra pounds on the wall, signaling Toriko to break it. With a single punch, Toriko shatters the rock, revealing a secret staircase. Below, Komatsu faces a monstrous snail rushing to attack him. Fortunately, Zebra protects him with a sound armor, causing Zebra to lose his hearing temporarily. Since everything can be potential ingredients, Komatsu takes out a kitchen knife from his luggage and slices through the rock layers he is standing on. Above, Zebra and Toriko confront a group of monsters and Toriko uses his flying fork technique to subdue them. Komatsu luckily falls into a water pool in an underground leakage channel leading to the pyramid. Using a device to check the correct direction, Komatsu's device detects a monster. Curious, Komatsu ventures into the direction indicated by the device, but he is chased by a monster, causing him to lose his pants. While escaping from the pursuing monster, Komatsu inadvertently reaches a hidden location with numerous coffins. There are many strange paintings on the walls, and a distant glowing object turns out to be a book. Komatsu approaches to examine it but is unexpectedly attacked by a monster from behind. After consuming the energy, Toriko's recovery reaches 60%, but Zebra's recovery is only about 7%. The journey continues with multiple paths. A fanged tiger awaits below and its meat appears to be delicious. On the other side, Komatsu is continuously attacked by the mummy-like monster. Fortunately, thanks to Zebra's sound armor, he remains unharmed. However, the mummy-like monster turns its attention to another one-eyed monster, allowing Komatsu to seize the opportunity to retrieve the mysterious book. Toriko and Zebra continue their journey after replenishing a significant amount of calories. Now they proceed to clear out the monsters in front of them and resume their eating expedition. They devour any creature they encounter on the way, leaving only dry skeletons behind. After eating to their satisfaction, Zebra regains his voice. Both of them fully recover their strength after consuming all the monsters they encounter on the journey. Zebra takes a deep breath and uses sound waves to locate Komatsu. Meanwhile, Komatsu inadvertently encounters the strongest creature in the Gourmet Pyramid, a fire dragon sphinx at level 92. Although Zebra informs the sphinx that Komatsu is his disciple, the monster shows no fear. Zebra immediately activates the bazooka sound to destroy the floor, revealing Komatsu's location on the lower level. Feeling the formidable strength of the monster ahead, Toriko notices a strange scent and recognizes it as cola. After a roar, the sphinx blows Toriko and Komatsu away. Zebra confidently stands his ground, ready to face the monster alone. First, he uses sound bullets, followed by taking a deep breath and utilizing the voice cutter technique. When the sphinx loses its vigilance, Zebra delivers the finishing blow with thunder voice. However, despite the consecutive attacks, the sphinx stands defiant and retaliates with its tongue against Zebra. Toriko joins the battle and informs Zebra that he smelled cola emanating from the sphinx. Recalling a conversation with Milk the First, Toriko shares information that Mellow Cola is located inside the Gourmet Pyramid, and the owner is the Fire Dragon Sphinx. Mellow Cola will ripen inside the Sphinx's body because the scent of cola is spreading throughout its body. The Sphinx raises its leg, gently waving it, causing the ground to tremble. Zebra laughs wickedly, finding the outside world fascinating. Both of them release their aura, summoning two demons to prepare for the battle. Komatsu examines the book he found. Although it consists of ancient characters, he can still identify it as a recipe book. Both attack the Sphinx directly, but it remains unfazed, effortlessly dispelling their auras with a simple leg wave. Toriko jumps using his flying fork technique, but the Sphinx catches it in its mouth and throws it elsewhere. Zebra, using a barrage of sound bullets, can't penetrate its thick skin. Toriko attempts a foot-swinging knife attack, but the Sphinx easily dodges. Zebra then employs a sound slash, causing some of the Sphinx's hair to fall. The book Komatsu holds mentions the tears of the Sphinx as the Mellow Cola, and it also provides instructions on how to process special ingredients. Toriko reminisces about their journey, unintentionally discovering the correct way to defeat and enjoy the creatures they encountered on the way. Though Komatsu cannot read all the crazy symbols relying on the images, he guesses their meaning, drawing on his experience reading hundreds of different cookbooks over the years. Toriko praises Komatsu, and he appears delighted. Zebra acknowledges Komatsu's talent in finding unique ingredients, and both decide to trust Komatsu, following the instructions in the book he found. As they prepare to confront a strange creature passing through places Toriko and Zebra have visited, the creature looks up at the commotion. On one side, Zebra and Toriko charge together, but the Sphinx continuously uses its hair to attack them, making Komatsu nervously watch. After receiving Zebra's encouragement, Komatsu imagines intensely the moment when he will butcher the Sphinx following the book's instructions. The first step is to gently knead its entire body, similar to tenderizing meat with a meat hammer, using just the right force. While the Sphinx continues attacking Toriko and Zebra relentlessly, Zebra instructs everyone to cover their ears and then uses the bazooka voice skill. The scream resonates, affecting the Sphinx, and Zebra's attack softens it as per Komatsu's imaginative vision. Next is the chest area, where Toriko will strike the upper palate with a force that's just right. Due to Zebra's recent skill usage, he now has only half of his energy. Following Komatsu's guidance, Toriko will attack while Zebra provides support from behind. Zebra creates a shield of sound to counter the Sphinx's hair, allowing Toriko to approach easily and deliver a tenfold spiked punch to the upper palate. The Sphinx falls and Toriko's attack consumes 300,000 calories. Angry and revived, the Sphinx retaliates by scratching Toriko and Zebra with its legs. Komatsu continues to imagine cooking methods with Toriko and Zebra as utensils. Next, they have to scrape off some scales from its back. Zebra attracts the Sphinx's attention and Toriko jumps up, using his leg knife technique, which consumes over 500,000 calories. Though the scales fly off lightly, the task to obtain the cola doesn't end there. Both must continue to stimulate its instep. Zebra shoots sound bullets into its instep and quickly changes positions. Then he plucks a feather from each wing simultaneously. Both jump up and synchronize a 1-2-3 rhythm, easily pulling apart the two feathers. That action caused the tear ducts of the Sphinx to swell up. Following this trend, if stimulated according to the principles outlined in the book, before releasing CO2 gas it would dissolve into its tears, turning into carbonic acid and ultimately into mellow cola. Komatsu, enlightened by the Supreme Being, saw the completed dish after the massage, feather plucking, and now Zebra and Toriko had to gently massage the flesh on the Sphinx's shoulders from the inside. Both immediately used their techniques to massage the Sphinx. When Komatsu noticed them struggling with the Sphinx's mane, he remembered that cutting off the mane would be fine. Zebra, somewhat annoyed, said, "Why didn't you say that earlier?" They continued persistently exchanging blows with the Sphinx, battling for nearly half a day. They fought until both were exhausted, but the Sphinx showed no signs of relenting. In the final step, both had to strike with all their might, using 100% of their remaining strength to attack its serpent tail. Zebra and Toriko combined their flying fork and sound bullets on the Sphinx's tail. This attack was as powerful as a nuclear bomb, and finally the Sphinx couldn't endure the pain inflicted by both, shedding tears in two streams, and its tears were the mellow cola. However, at that moment, Komatsu was unexpectedly attacked from behind by the bird-headed monster, causing him severe injuries. The incident happened so quickly that Toriko and Zebra couldn't react in time. Then the bird-headed monster rapidly transformed, delivering a powerful punch to each of them at lightning speed. With a single breath, it quickly sucked up all the mellow cola that everyone had worked so hard to collect. This left Zebra and Toriko extremely frustrated. It turned out that the monster chose death, and only they had been the ones to plunder food from others until now. This monster was cunning beyond expectations. Toriko immediately rushed to attack the bird-headed monster. The collision of two powerful punches caused both of them to be thrown far away. Seizing the opportunity, Zebra jumped in to unleash his sound bazooka technique on the creature. However, it still wasn't enough to defeat the powerful monster. In desperation, the two had to cooperate to have a chance at overcoming this ancient creature. Zebra used his super sound bazooka technique to amplify Toriko's speed several times. Then Toriko threw a supersonic punch at the creature, sending it flying and causing severe internal organ damage. Zebra quickly drained the creature's life force, leaving it shriveled up like a dried corpse. The truth was, this monster had endured hunger for thousands of years inside the Gourmet Pyramid, and it took both Gourmet Kings to defeat it. Suddenly a noise came from behind. Surprisingly, Komatsu was still alive after taking a hit from the creature. It turned out that Zebra had silently created a sound armor covering Komatsu's entire body to protect him. Despite his rough exterior, Zebra cared deeply for his friends. Meanwhile, the Sphinx still lay there, crying, and mellow cola flowed in all directions. When everyone tasted it, they discovered an irresistibly pure and sweet flavor that surpassed even the finest premium wines. It filled Toriko's cells with energy and vitality, truly living up to its reputation as the world's most delicious cola. After obtaining mellow cola, Zebra suggested that Komatsu become his personal chef. If judged solely by strength, even Toriko was slightly inferior to Zebra. If Komatsu agreed to be his assistant, they would form a powerful gourmet hunting duo like never before. However, Komatsu declined Zebra's offer because he trusted Toriko and believed that one day Toriko would create the world's finest menu. To collect mellow cola, Komatsu used a gourmet liquid storage device. He pressed the start button, and it sucked all the liquid inside. After the Sphinx finished crying, it became extremely angry and chased Toriko and the others away. Back in the desert village, Toriko thanked the villagers by giving them some ingredients and mellow cola for providing the two camels. As the journey concluded, Komatsu also made a significant harvest by obtaining the ancient cookbook inside the Gourmet Pyramid. This book was part of the culinary heritage passed down by ancient people, guiding new discoveries in the gourmet era. The next day, Komatsu invited Toriko and Zebra to his restaurant for a meal. While waiting, the two Gourmet Kings, feeling restless, engaged in a martial arts exchange. Soon, a fully prepared table of food emerged. Toriko and Zebra started with a refreshing glass of cold cola before focusing on the main course. In just 5 short minutes they had cleaned the entire table, living up to their reputation as gluttonous gourmets. News arrived that the IGO organization sought the corpse of the defeated monster for research. Representatives from the 0th biotope, a secluded area within the gourmet world, were sent to collect it. These warriors possessed terrifying strength and were recruited by the gourmet Yakuza boss. Even the master knife sharpener Milk I and the resurrection artist Yusaku were members of the 0th biotope. Mansam the director revealed that the creature Toriko's group encountered above the vegetable sky and beneath the gourmet pyramid was called a nitro. It is said that nitros have existed on Earth for hundreds of millions of years. One of their remarkable abilities is their incredibly robust vitality. When the environment deteriorates, nitros can enter a state of dormancy automatically. In extreme cases, they can continue to hibernate for thousands of years without needing food and water. Yesterday, the IGO organization received news that another nitro was still inside the gourmet pyramid. Currently, no one knows its whereabouts. Since ancient times, nitros have had an instinct to seek delicious ingredients. There are even rumors that these creatures are the key to approaching the legendary gourmet god ingredients. When the gourmet eclipse occurs, the time when god ingredients appear. A battle for gourmet supremacy is inevitable. The next day, Toriko and Komatsu were sponsored for a vacation at a beach resort. The main sponsor was the young billionaire owner of the colossal dinosaur, Chris. The young billionaire did this to express gratitude for Toriko and Komatsu helping Chris successfully evolve. The high-speed train quickly took Toriko and Komatsu to a crowded beach, a culinary paradise known for its affordable and exquisite dishes. At the beach they encountered some familiar faces, including Setsuno, the alcohol-ridden old man, or the knocking master Jiro, and Rin, who were also on vacation. Every year Rin came here to enjoy seaside cuisine. Toriko began to try famous dishes, such as the musical watermelon that played music when eaten and the squid ramen with a built-in bowl, making it a hot and fresh seafood ramen. Toriko also visited a friend's curry rice shop at the beach, but to his surprise the place was closed. This friend was Cumin, and he explained that 2 days ago, his younger sister Safra went to the sea to find curry ingredients. However, 2 days had passed and she hadn't returned, causing Cumin great concern. Cumin revealed that their family's traditional curry sauce originated from a curry meteorite that only appears on Earth every 99 years. Its flavor intensifies over the years during its cosmic journey. Cumin's father collected the curry ingredients from the meteorite when it fell to Earth. From those ingredients, he researched and created an incredibly delicious curry sauce. Cumin pleaded with Toriko to help find his sister, and Toriko agreed. The group quickly located Safra in a sea area about 10 nautical miles from the mainland. However, Safra was still searching for ingredients to make curry sauce, so she couldn't return with everyone yet. Most of the ingredients were rare and couldn't be bought in the market, so she had to go to the sea to hunt for them. At this point, she was only missing one ingredient, the water tiger, a fierce wild beast living on Horse King Island. Toriko decided to go to Horse King Island to help Safra find the water tiger. For some reason and somehow, Zong's group was also on this island. Suddenly, a roar echoed in the forest, and a gigantic water tiger appeared before everyone. With a level of 70, it was considered a formidable opponent. Indeed, Toriko's knife skills were easily nullified by the water tiger. He swiftly punched it in the mouth, but as the tiger's body was made of water, physical attacks were ineffective. After observing for a while, Toriko discovered the weakness of the tiger and lured it to another location. Once out of the shaded forest, the tiger's strength rapidly diminished. The water in its body began to evaporate. It was at this moment that Toriko rushed in, delivering a powerful punch to finish off the level 70 water tiger. Finally, everyone successfully gathered all the ingredients to bring back home for Cumin to cook a truly delicious curry pot. The smooth and fragrant sauce emitted an enticing aroma, and pouring this sauce onto the plate of curry immediately illuminated it, as they tasted a piece with the rich and sweet flavor of water tiger meat melting inside their mouths. Seeing the delicious food, the gluttonous zebra immediately appeared, asking what his brothers were eating that was so delicious and wanting some for himself. The next day, Toriko and Komatsu headed to a mysterious forest to gather ingredients as IGO's boss had requested Toriko to collect. Toriko suddenly stopped as there were strange footprints in front of him. A glowing creature in the grass turned out to be a rabbit, but behind it was a giant ox chicken. Toriko used a fork to create a barrier, dodged the attack, and then gathered strength to deliver a powerful punch, sending the unfortunate ox chicken flying straight into the sky. Earlier, Toriko had consumed a ton of mellow cola, which helped his gourmet cells develop, but Toriko was not satisfied with himself because there would always be higher mountains. Coco and Sani were also diligently training according to the boss's list. Sani headed to the Whack Trail, the path connecting the gourmet world and the human world, where he encountered a member of Biotope Zero, who was detaining a person. And that person was Giman, the gourmet gang leader. In a dark and impoverished city, accompanied by strong waves, Coco felt like everything there was an illusion, life having its ups and downs. At Bishikokai's castle, sous chef Alfaro and his servant Jojo went to the place where the newest model robots were stored, preparing for the upcoming battle to seize God. The next day, Toriko invited Komatsu to a special place in the forest, revealing that there was an incredibly delicious restaurant inside. Due to some undisclosed reasons, very few people knew about this restaurant. It was a house situated in the middle of a blackwater lake, named Bar Maria. At this moment, with no customers inside, the owner immediately came out to greet the two and inquire about what they wanted to eat. A unique aspect was that the owner of this restaurant was not a human but a robot. As soon as the food was brought out, Toriko's mouth watered profusely. Despite being a simple fast food dish like a hamburger with meat and French fries, its flavor was incredibly delicious. The owner also recommended two specialties here, rat potatoes and black rice with jewelry meat, which were truly exquisite. These were the best-selling dishes and favorites of the restaurant. Suddenly, Toriko noticed that someone had been sitting behind him since earlier, and he hadn't noticed. Komatsu immediately recognized him as the mysterious person who had controlled the robot and once tried to steal his knife. His intention was to obtain God, an ingredient that could control the entire world. The intense clash of auras between him and Toriko immediately created waves in the lake. The man's real name was Star June, one of the strongest chefs in the Bishikokai organization. Temporarily avoiding direct conflict with Toriko, Star June left the restaurant. If the two were to truly confront each other, Toriko wasn't certain of the outcome. A few days later, with some free time on their hands, Toriko once again invited Komatsu on a pilgrimage to a temple to seek good fortune. The place they visited was the world's largest gourmet temple, covering an area of over 80,000 square kilometers and welcoming around 9 billion visitors annually for food purification rituals. As usual, wherever Toriko went, the relentless food reporter Tina and the enthusiastic Zong were not far behind. Although it was referred to as a pilgrimage, Toriko's true purpose in coming here was to savor the delicious dishes the place had to offer. He enjoyed a bowl of seafood stir-fried noodles, explored various snack vendors, and indulged in a food tour, relishing the affordable and tasty treats. After eating, both of them participated in the food purification ritual using pure spring water within the temple, leaving them with a comfortable and pleasant feeling throughout their bodies. Later, Toriko hired a sheep taxi service to explore the scenic surroundings of the temple. The staff reminded them to fasten their seatbelts and wear helmets because the sheep could run very fast, reaching speeds of up to 150 kilometers per hour. Next, they toured the snowpine forest inside the gourmet temple, where gigantic trees soared to heights of over 1,000 meters. Upon exiting the forest, they reached the magnificent shrine dedicated to Acacia, the Gourmet Hunter, the greatest in history, who discovered the god ingredient and used it to end a bloody war, restoring peace to the world. Outside, a knife-pulling competition was taking place, with many attempting their luck, but no one had succeeded so far. Zong, the big brother, stepped in to showcase his strength, but despite his efforts, the knife remained firmly in place, embarrassing his younger siblings. Encouraged by Toriko, Komatsu decided to give it a try. To everyone's surprise, with just a gentle force, the knife was pulled out effortlessly from the wooden surface. Finally, Komatsu earned the title of the luckiest person and received the blessings of the gourmet temple. The food tour concluded, and the two of them rode the sheep taxi back home. The next morning, Komatsu, accompanied by a penguin, arrived at Toriko's house. The two bosses of the house welcomed them, but before they could knock, Toriko opened the door, startling both of them to the point of almost wetting themselves. Toriko explained that he used this method to scare them as a preparation for hunting a specific ingredient they were going to find. The miraculous fruit in question is the apple that Toriko and Komatsu, along with the fortunate IGO employee, will set out to find today. This surprise apple originates from a local variety on an island known for endless battles, aptly named the Battle Island. IGO brought seeds from that island back several years ago, intending to cultivate them naturally. It is a special ingredient, and the more unexpectedly it develops, the more delicious it becomes, adding to the intriguing nature of this surprise apple. In an instant, the group arrives at the surprise island, the only island exclusively dedicated to cultivating these special apples. To enhance the flavor of the surprise apples, they are strategically exploding bombs in the orchard in a clockwise direction. Stepping onto the island, the sound of gunfire echoes, making Komatsu quite uncomfortable. Every year around this season, 10,000 people from all over the world gather here for the festival of threatening the surprise apples. The festival adds a lively atmosphere to the island, and no festivity is complete without the king of jesters, the antagonist of sorrow, Zong. Here are the members of the G7, renowned food tasters from Apollo, and Tepe has also joined. Rin, anticipating her crush Toriko's arrival, has been waiting here since yesterday. Of course, Tina doesn't miss the chance to record a video and upload it to YouTube. The official Surprise Apple Festival begins. These young people seem like the mafia, always using guns for scaring. Toriko takes out a stone he obtained from Milk the First, takes a deep breath, and shouts, shaking the entire island. The apple immediately widens its eyes in fear. The esteemed food critic rates this as the highest astonishment level 27 for apples today. Komatsu asks Teppei about the astonishment level, and Teppei, in his usual manner, speaks endlessly. Apollo succinctly explains that the levels range from 0 to 100, and Toriko is currently at level 27. The young men continue to use guns to scaring the apples. Instead of scaring, Teppei approaches the apples, continuously talking about the hardships of his life. Zong imitates him, making the apple look genuinely terrified. Komatsu cooks for Toriko, and just one bite leaves the plate spotless. After eating, Toriko sings Gangnam Style to scaring not only the apples but everyone around. The cute lady is Tsurara Mama, the head chef of Snack Bar Tsurara, one of the 50 greatest chefs in the world. Instead of scaring, Mama only needs to say a few threatening words to astonish the apples to level 20. Truly, a top chef only needs to speak to make the apples fearful. Rin also tries and achieves a level of 20, matching Mama. On the other hand, Teppei keeps talking endlessly, and his stories are so long that he puts the apple to sleep, only to wake up startled, reaching an astonishment level of 30. Terry's gentle scaring earns him a level of 40, and the cheerful penguin's presence frightens the apple to a level of 25. Toriko with a mighty fist stops just in front, terrifying it to a level of 50. However, due to excessive force, it faints on the spot. Apollo reveals that so far, only 3 people have scared this apple to a level above 90, President Igo with 92, Jiro with 95, and a mysterious person whose name is unknown. There's an apple that Apollo picks up, astonishing at level 80. Zong, unable to scaring it, resorts to using a fart-based technique to scaring, a foul odor even I outside the screen can imagine. He manages to the apple to level 80. Although it's a record-breaking scene for the day, Tina refrains from filming due to its repulsiveness and smell. Toriko and Komatsu enjoy the surprise apple together. Afterwards, Komatsu orders a glass of apple soda and a glass of freshly pressed apple juice to savor the moment. Today Komatsu is in a joyful mood. Upon Toriko's inquiry, he reveals that he bought a lottery ticket and perhaps after the temple visit, luck was on his side, winning the 8th prize. Though the amount is not substantial, with 1 million yen it's still a substantial win. A jackpot would likely be over 100 billion yen. Komatsu, unfamiliar with holding 1 million yen, decides to buy a gift for Toriko. Fortunately, Toriko is also looking to purchase a piece of land, and today's trip is to check out that land. However, with only 1 million yen, it seems challenging. The piece of land for sale has a meager area of 3,300 square meters, starting at an initial bid of 10 billion yen. The reason for its high cost is that there's a tiger chicken currently nesting there, and its eggs are exceptionally delicious. However, this species is introverted, so it will only lay eggs in familiar, preferred places, and the place it chooses to lay eggs is that piece of land. The landowner is an old man named Yaki, renowned for being stubborn. Many powerful gourmet investors and extremely wealthy individuals have come to buy, but their offers have all been completely rejected. At Yaki's house, these young men are opening a suitcase containing 50 billion yen but are immediately looked down upon and told to leave. Indeed, people with money have a different perspective. If they met me, they would sell for just 10 billion. In the sky, a chicken tiger is flying over. As the negotiation breaks down, the mafia wants to capture the chicken tiger. Toriko, feeling indignant, uses his flying fort technique to knock down their weapons because who would disturb a mother chicken tiger about to give birth? Toriko steps into Yaki's house, immediately smelling the aroma of chicken tiger eggs. Without hiding anything, Toriko expresses his desire to buy the piece of land today. However, more importantly to Toriko, he wants to taste one of those eggs with a cute, handsome face. Seeing Toriko's sincerity, Yaki happily takes out an egg for him. Komatsu also cheerfully introduces himself to Yaki to prepare chicken tiger egg dishes. The dishes Komatsu makes include soft-boiled eggs, egg milk, pork and eggs with mushroom cream. Watching Toriko enjoy the meal, Yaki is reminded of his wife. In a blink of an eye, the sky darkens, and Yaki talks about his past as a gourmet hunter. He found a chicken tiger chick in a field a long time ago and has nurtured it to this day. Toriko believes that Yaki raised this mother chicken tiger despite the danger because of greed. In life, everyone is greedy, only Komatsu isn't greedy. Yaki's wife passed away when he was still a gourmet hunter. He went hunting extensively to find ingredients to earn money to take care of his sick wife at home, but the situation worsened, and she couldn't recover. When she passed away, her last words were a simple wish for a family meal with him. He pursued money to the extent of forgetting his dearest loved ones. Indeed, sometimes money can bring happiness, but it's not everything in life. Toriko believes that Yaki, in pursuit of money, forgot how to truly enjoy food. Yaki remembers that his wife's favorite dish was chicken tiger eggs, and the piece of land someone wants to buy is where he and his wife shared their meals. People say that while you can try to do things, don't let them slip away and only view them as memories afterward. Toriko wonders why, after raising a large chicken tiger, Yaki wants to sell the land, which holds sentimental value. Yaki simply answers that he is nearing death, and he doesn't know when he will pass away, so when he dies, no one will own that piece of land anymore. Yaki asks Toriko how much he brought. Toriko has only a sincere heart, surprise apples, and 1 million yen from Komatsu. Toriko's sincere words resemble those of Yaki's wife. The happiness from those things cannot be bought with money. Even if those others offer 50 billion yen, it's not worthy of the happiness Mr. Yaki desires. After his passing, he hopes Komatsu and Toriko will come to play with the mother chicken tiger and her newly hatched chick. The next day Toriko invited Sunny and Komatsu to have a meal. After finishing the meal, Toriko revealed that he was looking for a new cooking ingredient called shining gurumi, also known as crystal fish. This fish species resides in the Death Falls, one of the 3 greatest waterfalls in the world, with an estimated 1,000 trillion liters of water pouring down every second. Despite its colossal flow, Death Falls is so powerful that not even a cannon can penetrate its intense current. Incidentally, Sunny introduced his new teammate, a giant snake from the gourmet world named Queen. Although still a juvenile, Queen's potential size could reach the length of the equator. With the reliable Queen as their water taxi, the 3 immediately set out towards Death Falls to search for the legendary luminous crystal fish. Sunny chose Queen as a pet because of its stunning appearance, while Sunny was indifferent to everything else. Outer beauty was Sunny's top priority. 10 minutes later, Queen transported the trio to the Moors mountain range. Deep within this mountain range lies one of the world's 3 great waterfalls, Death Falls. It is an extremely dangerous place where even the mightiest creatures dare not enter. Feeling hungry, the trio caught some fish to make a grilled fish dish. Toriko held 2 delicious fish in his hands, and Komatsu suddenly noticed that the water below was exceptionally clear. If the water was clear, it meant there was a lack of nutrients and no living organisms could thrive. It turned out that the location and structure of Death Falls turned it into a natural filtration system, absorbing all the nutrients and producing the crystal fish. Quickly they reached the source of the waterfall, where the pressure was so intense that it could tear everything apart. At this moment, a level 48 mountain dinosaur and a level 49 elephant monkey attempted to cross the falls but failed, falling into the powerful current of Death Falls. The 2 monstrous beasts were instantly crushed into pieces without a trace left. The swirling currents below created enormous water vortexes, functioning like high-powered washing machines. Even someone as powerful as Toriko would ascend to heaven if they fell into it. Sunny gently landed on the water's surface, using his sensory threads to form a makeshift raft. At this moment, a level 9 shark hippo unexpectedly leaped onto the water's surface, intending to attack everyone. However, it quickly became a meal in Queen's belly, as it was devoured moments after opening its mouth wide to capture its supersized prey. Despite just having gulped down an immensely large catch, in Sunny's eyes, Queen looked truly magnificent. To prepare for crossing Death Falls, Komatsu had to wear protective clothing and an air-supplying mask. Toriko and Sunny, having conditioned their bodies in harsh environments, did not need any protective gear. As they approached the waterfall, the wind became stronger, and countless water jets compressed under tremendous pressure could cut through diamonds. When shot onto the body, it caused excruciating pain. Fortunately, Sunny applied tiny sensors on his head to create a shield against wind and water, using a technique called hair shield. As they successfully passed through the water vortex area, Toriko immediately used his knife technique to carve out a path. However, the overpowering flow of Death Falls pressed down on his attack. At this moment, Sunny suddenly remembered a peculiar encounter during his training. He had met a man named Demon, the gourmet gang leader, who was meditating. Suddenly, someone startled him from behind and he jolted in surprise. Demon's unique training method involved eliminating all distractions in his mind, paying no attention to anything around him. Thus he often appeared absent-minded. A dragon suddenly appeared behind the two, but Demon showed no reaction. Despite the bizarre appearance, he remained unfazed and unresponsive. When the dragon was about to attack, Demon, without looking, sensed the threat, drew his sword and swiftly cut the dragon into 2 in the blink of an eye. It happened so fast that Sunny couldn't see anything, and Demon returned to his nonchalant demeanor. From that point on, Sunny began training with Demon. He tried his best but still couldn't change Demon's expression. Indeed, Demon was the legendary leader of a notorious gang, and even Sunny, using his most powerful technique, the hair punch, couldn't land a hit on Demon, not even once. Demon revealed that he activated the infinity technique. Once in this state, human instincts would be heightened to the extreme. Instincts weren't something inherent, they were accumulated through training and experience. To perceive instincts, one needed to first learn to cleanse the mind. A clear mind leads to success, while a mind entangled in illusions deeply traps in nightmares. Sunny found this explanation reasonable, and finally he had an epiphany, adopting the world-weary expression of his elder. Suddenly a group of sawshark sharks appeared. Sensing the danger, Demon's body instinctively annihilated them without conscious thought. Later that evening, Sunny cooked a pot of sawshark sour soup. After eating, Demon's expression remained emotionless, truly speechless. Returning to reality, Toriko, inspired by Sunny's story, began awakening his own instincts. Indeed, after activating the infinity technique, Toriko's calm mind and water-like composure reached a new level. With just one punch, he penetrated the flow of the deathfall, astonishing Sunny. When did this guy become so powerful? In the end, the group successfully infiltrated the cave inside the waterfall. However, the powers of Toriko and Sunny were completely depleted. The two were exhausted to the point of immobility. To find food to help Toriko and Sunny recover their strength, Komatsu decided to venture alone into the cave. He used milk star dust to create markers, marking the path he took so that he wouldn't get lost and his friends could find him. Upon reaching the end of the cave, Komatsu saw a glowing and radiant lake. The golden glow beneath the water was the shining gourmet fish, also known as crystal fish in legends. Komatsu immediately assembled a specialized fish-catching rod and scooped up a fish from the lake. However, when Komatsu touched the fish, its body suddenly turned black, as if poisoned. The fish vanished from the world, and it seemed that to catch this species, a special method was needed, much like the puffer whales. After several failed attempts, Komatsu became convinced that these fish turned black and were inedible. Then Komatsu noticed the liquid beneath the fish tank, not water but a refined fish oil. Inadvertently, Komatsu touched the head of one fish, and he discovered that only after the fish glowed could he catch it without turning into a dead fish. Komatsu managed to obtain 2 boxes filled with fish and with the group, rode Queen to the top of a high mountain to enjoy the fish and admire the sunset. When the box were opened, a pleasant fragrance immediately wafted out. The fish oil, free of any greasiness, contained essential nutrients beneficial for the heart and brain. The lake was the place that absorbed all the nutrients from the mountain range, and the crystal fish were the crystallization of those nutrients. Looking at the glowing fish, Komatsu suggested making tempura fish. First, he used fish oil instead of regular oil, heated a pan of oil until very hot, then seasoned the fish and coated it in flour. Once the oil was sizzling, he placed the fish into the pan. The fish, fried in refined fish oil, didn't have a fishy taste. After frying, the oil in the pan remained vibrant. And the crystal fish oil could be reused multiple times without deterioration. In the end, they had a plate of golden and crispy fried fish, with a crunchy outer layer and tender, juicy meat inside, boasting a rich and flavorful taste. Anyone hungry, comment your address, and I'll send you some to try. Feeling that something was still missing, Komatsu combined the fried fish with milk stardust seasoning, and indeed, with a touch of seasoning, the crispy crystal fish became even more delicious. The fishing trip today was truly worthwhile. Komatsu wanted to invite Zebra next time, but Sunny disagreed because he found Zebra quite irritating, mainly due to his unappealing appearance. Thank you for watching the Toriko Gourmet Hunter video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and share to give me more motivation to create new videos. Thank you.